morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to take a look at the World Championships and about a whole bunch more cards being banned. You see, the players from Asian territories who are competing in Worlds have now been sent a list, essentially, of cards they are allowed to use and are not allowed to use. Now, I told you the other day that a bunch of cards had already been announced to be banned, but these are all things that made perfect sense. So, the on-the-ball cards that were promos that were only distributed in the UK, and not even the whole of the UK, just in England, because it's an English FA promo, they were confirmed to not be legal for Worlds. The Lance's Charizard V and Dark Sylveon V that do, and again, these cards have like proper regulation marks, etc. They were confirmed to not be legal because they had only been distributed in, well, they'd actually been weirdly distributed in Hong Kong, and I believe Taiwan as well, but they hadn't been distributed everywhere, so they were confirmed to not be legal, which again made perfect sense. And your Special Delivery Bidoof and Special Delivery Pikachu had again been confirmed to not be legal, which again made perfect sense because they'd only been distributed in the US and Canada, so having them legal for Worlds would have been a bad idea. That was never going to work. And I told you in that video that something was missing here, because actually there's so much more than that. Japan has so many weird promos that never make their way over here, and now it's been essentially confirmed that they're not legal. But it's actually so much more than that, because Japan's ahead of us. There are a whole bunch of basic sets which are just, they're out and they're out now, like Lost Abyss. Lost Abyss is out in Japan. Now this is going to form a large part of our Lost Origin set, but as it stands at the moment, it's out in Japan, it's not out over here. I can't tell you whether Giratina V-Star is going to be a phenomenal card, but I absolutely can tell you that it looks really good. I can't tell you that Drapion will mean that nobody plays Mew, but I can tell you that Drapion is a phenomenal Mew counter. If Japanese players and players in territories where this set was released were able to play these cards, or even worse potentially, if anyone was able to play them just so long as they bought the Japanese cards, I don't know if that's worse or not, it's still bad. That would create an inequality that we couldn't have. So basically, and we knew this already, kind of, anything after Pokemon Go will not be legal. Now, we knew Lost Origin wasn't going to be legal, but now we've had confirmation that every set in Japan that's been released in Japan that hasn't been released over here will not be legal for the Pokemon World Championships coming up next month. It's not happening, not legal. So in the same way that Lost Origin isn't legal, neither is Lost Abyss. And then you've got the other things like the Zero Aura and Deoxys decks that come with Zero Aura VMAX and V-Star, or Deoxys VMAX and V-Star. Those decks have been confirmed to not be legal. No cards in there are legal, unless of course they are straight reprints of cards that are legal for, pretty obvious reasons. We've got that other set coming out in Japan around about, well, it's not quite out yet, but it's almost out, which is bringing us 3 pairs of a V-Star and a V-Max, including, for instance, Zacian V, a new one, and the first ever Zacian V-Star. To be clear, they are V-Stars, not V-Maxes. And it has been confirmed that they will not be legal for the World Championships. But Pokemon have also come out and told us that they've given a whole list of every promo in Japan, and they have gone down card by card and literally just told us which ones are not going to be legal for Worlds. So actually, the oldest one, over in Japan, it's Sword and Shield promo number 2, Shibuya Pikachu. Now this, of course, was released to celebrate the opening of the Shibuya Pokemon Center, and that's why we never got it. Why would we get Shibuya Pikachu? That doesn't make any sense, ladies and gentlemen. Why would we get that card? We wouldn't, is the obvious answer, so that card ends up not coming out. one of my absolute favourite cards, which I've not picked up yet and I really need to, Rescue Team DX Pikachu. Now, this was a particularly awesome Pikachu that was released as a promo for the Mystery Dungeon game. It was just a random one-off promo card that was released for the game. And it doesn't matter whether these cards are good or not, because we all know there are cards that aren't supposed to be good that somebody comes along and makes absolutely broken. So you need to be careful that you don't let these things through. Sure, that's probably not a particularly good card, but now it's not able to be played. And there are a bunch of others. Now, my favourite one here is Coco. Coco is an actual card which is a human. But we see supporter cards all the time. This is a Pokemon card that is a human. It was released to coincide with the movie. And it's actually a Coco card, Coco being the human character, but as a Pokemon card, which is awesome. But obviously, come on, that was never going to work. That was never going to be a thing that we were allowed to play. It would be nice, but no. One of my particular favourite cards, Plump Musician, or Well-Rounded Musician, I think we translated it as, but the official English name is listed as Plump Musician. This is a supporter card of the singer who actually sang the soundtrack, or at least some of the songs on, or contributed in some way to the soundtrack of that same Coco movie. And they got their own supporter card that was in special editions of the CD. Obviously, I picked this up. I couldn't not. And to be fair, right, I'm telling you this now for free. The, main title track Coco of that movie is an absolute banger and is legit one of my favourite songs. My children ask for it in the car. It is absolutely brilliant. Now, I'm not going to keep going through here. I'm not going to list out every card, because by now you're probably starting to get an idea of the kind of cards we can't use. That Piplup promo, which is absolutely adorable, because for some reason the Pokemon Center in Japan had a weird Piplup thing going on this year. It's adorable, but you're not going to be able to use it. That mischievous Pichu that was released very recently, unfortunately, again, not legal for Worlds. All of these weird Japanese promos that we never got aren't legal. And some of them aren't even that weird. Some of them are just new. So take Kyogre V. Kyogre V is just a gym promo over in Japan. And we always get these gym promos. These gym promos find their way to us. But Kyogre V is not going to find its way to us in time for Worlds. So for that reason, it doesn't actually get here. Now, there are two other things that we need to mention in this video that are very important. Firstly, there are two English-only cards that were left off of our list that seemed like big omissions which have now been, well, fixed. And that is Special Delivery Charizard, which admittedly is probably not actually that big a deal. I don't know how many people are going to have it before Worlds, maybe nobody. But also Obstagoon. You see, there was that weird Obstagoon promo that made absolutely no sense. But it was released in the second Battle Academy. For some reason, the Battle Academy, which was just this, Pokemon TCG as a board game kind of thing, which was released as a product to help people learn to play the game. In the Eevee deck within that product, there was a Galarian Obstagoon promo. And this isn't like the others. This isn't some weird hyper-specific card. This is just a standard Galarian Obstagoon promo that does 180 for free energy. But for some reason, it never actually got released over in Japan. And presumably at some point it will. But again, the rule here seems pretty simple. Weird Japanese cards that never got released over here, not legal. Weird cards over here that never got released in Japan, not legal. And some of them are super weird cards. I'm sorry, Special Delivery Charizard, Pikachu on the ball, and over on the Japan side, Coco, Plump Musician. You can't tell me they're not weird Pokemon cards. But all of them are not legal. The Galarian Obstagoon is probably the most normal card they've banned, but they had to. But there was something else that was in that list, and that is they confirmed what one of the most recent promos is going to be Sword and Shield promo number 296 is Champions Festival. What does that tell us? It tells us that we are going to complete the streak of every year since 2013, although remember 2020 and 2021 did not have Worlds promos because there was no Worlds, of having Champions Festival every year. Here's what it looked like in 2013, here's 2014, here's 2015, here's 2016, here's 2017, here's 2018, and here's 2019. And 2019 actually gets bonus points for being in an art gallery showing off the artwork of the previous Champions Festival. That is awesome. What can I tell you about Champions Festival? It's gonna have a Psyduck on. They always have Psyduck. Like the World's promos always have Psyduck. It's gonna have Pikachu on. It's going to be called Champions Festival, and it's going to say that once during each player's turn, if that player has 6 Pokemon in play, they can heal 10 damage from each of their Pokemon, because that's the way it always is. Now, as for what it's going to look like, it's going to be themed after London in the same way that they always are, and it's going to feature Generation 8 Pokemon, because they always feature the kind of current generation, or at least they usually do. That's the way these things tend to work. Outside of that, I can't tell ya. But I am excited, and seriously, going through these Worlds promos now is making me so excited for Worlds, I can barely stand it. Worlds is going to be amazing. So there we go. Whole bunch of new banned cards that we really should have been expecting, and a new promo confirmed, which we, again, should have been expecting, although we don't actually know what it looks like. We'll have to wait and see. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think about all of this, and if any of these cards are making you sad that they're not playable at Worlds. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and the TCG and other games and other card games and all kinds of fun things. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can join the Discord, chat with everyone, share some deck lists, get pretty much weekly bonus podcasts where I answer any of your Pokemon questions, and basically have an awful lot of fun, like the lovely Edgar Menares did. They are a very lovely person who is one of our Patreons, and I thank them very much for it. And yes, you too can get a shout out as a Patreon if you wish. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.